Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to talk about my quick haircut and dye. I definitely just did this. I'm loving it. It looks beautiful. If you guys have questions, I will answer that on my Instagram if you guys want to talk more about my hair. But I just wanted to address it since it is different. You guys are used to my hair being so much longer and lighter, so this is my new hair. But today we are here to discuss Juvia's Place. I ended up purchasing pretty much everything I could get my hands on from Juvia's Place. So I have had a good amount of time to test and use most of these. There's a few of the palettes that I haven't used, but most of them have all been used and tested out. I wanted to make sure I gave this a good thorough testing before I really reviewed this beautiful brand. This is a black owned brand by women, and they're kind of known for these beautiful bright colored palettes. So I couldn't resist on ordering them all. I had to have them all. You guys know I love color and bright colors, and I love beautifully pigmented items. So with that being said, I am going to add just a few little shots here of maybe all the swatches of all the palettes that I got. I will try to keep that short, and then there will be a makeup demo. It's not the makeup I have on today, however it is going to be a brighter makeup look that I actually did with this palette here. I couldn't do a demo without doing a bright makeup look. So if you guys do want this look, I can do this in another video for you, but for the actual review, it is gonna be, I'm using this particular palette here. So I'm gonna insert those now and then tell you my thoughts about the product after you watch the demo. Enjoy. Primer is on. I'm gonna start with my synthetic Wet n Wild brush. One thing I did notice about this palette that it didn't have with the other palettes is there are no names on this color and on these colors, and there are no names on the back. I don't know why that is. I haven't reached out to Juvia's Place. If you guys know why that is, leave that down below, or I might just instant message them just because I'm curious, because that is one thing about most palettes that kind of irritates me, is not knowing the name, especially if I'm using them in a demo to describe them or show them to you. But you guys all know it's this particular palette. I'm going to be using the yellow shade, orange shade, this beautiful chestnutty brown, and then probably these three shades right here, and then I will probably use these two as my blush. I plan on this being a very bright and colorful look, so be ready. All right, starting with that yellow. As I'm dipping into the pan, there's not tons of kickback. I really don't know how potent this is, so I'm a little scared to swipe this, but let's do it. Okay. So right off the bat for yellow, this is a very pigmented yellow. Normally I would have to go back and forth quite a few times to get that pigmentation. So that right there is very impressive. Yellow shadows are hard to make, and harder to even make them pigmented, so they come out very vibrant. But this is a beautiful yellow. I'm really digging this. Okay, using a new brush, same thing, the Wet n Wild crease brush. I'm gonna go into that orange. Again, the kick up in the pan, guys, is not a whole lot for how pigmented these are. I'm kind of impressed by that. Another new brush, going into that warm chocolate brown shade. So basically doing all three colors here in the first row of this palette in my crease. I don't want to make this too dark, as I want to keep this pretty vibrant. All right, so we're gonna go into that teal metallic shade using that synthetic brush. I'm gonna try packing it on and see how this goes. Are you guys seeing how vibrant this is? Kind of insane. All right, loving that. Moving on. All right, very fun, overdone, kind of out there look, which I am loving. Then I'm going to take this green shade and go right into my inner tear duct. I am going to take a little bit of my under eye highlighter under my brow, which is just from the Kat Von D shade and light contour palette, which has gotten lots of love for me. I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and do that under the brow. Kind of clean this up just a little bit. Gonna bust into the blush palette right here, which is actually called the Saharan Blush 2. I'm light to medium skin tone, so this would be best for anybody with light to medium skin tones. I'm gonna go in this color called B. It's kind of this plummy purpley pink, which I live for, but it looks a little more unique than other shades that I have. Definitely more mauve, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, crazy pigmented, just like everything else. Again, a very soft hand with this. I want to use this one other color from the actual eyeshadow palette, which is kind of this burnt orange, yellow, gold kind of peach shade, which is my favorite kind of highlighter shades to use. So I'm going to go in that with my regular highlighter brush. I'm going to tap a little bit of the excess off because this is meant to be an eyeshadow. I don't want to overkill the look. And go right over the top. Blush. And then I'm going to pop back into the Saharan blush palette into that lighter shade, which is called Zoba. Similar undertone, but lighter than the one I just put on. I'm loving this blush combo. I gotta try this again for sure. All right, guys, so this is a completed look using the Juvia's Place palettes, two of them, one of them being the blush palette and then one of them being an eyeshadow palette. Again, these are the two palettes that I used. All right, guys, so now that you have seen the demo and swatches of all of the palettes that I could actually find swatches of, I kind of want to talk about each palette. I'm going to show them on camera. I may swatch a few colors just live, just so you can see them as well. I think swatching every single color in all of these palettes would take a long time and not be super interesting for you guys. So I don't want to bore you with the details, but I am going to go over each palette because I think you guys need to see these, and I think if you don't own them, you should. Maybe not all of them. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but I do think that pretty much everything I've tried from the company I have enjoyed and I think is worth it. I am going to start with the blush volumes here. So we have 1 and 2. I'm going to start with 1 just so you guys can see it. It is this beautiful palette. If you've got beautiful, like, deep skin tone, these would be great for you, or you may find that these would be fabulous eyeshadows as well. Everything that they do is so pigmented, so this definitely could be used as eyeshadow or blushers, but definitely blush for someone with a deeper skin tone. I have a light to medium skin tone. I thought I could use these as blush. Some of them I am going to attempt to use as blush, but I have not done that yet. I'm waiting for the right makeup look to do so. This is the Blush 2 palette. I think this would be great for all skin tones. Even they have some shades here that even lighter skin tones could wear. This is kind of universal for everybody. I love, love, love this palette. As you can tell, of course, the two colors in the middle are getting the most love from me. It's that beautiful kind of rose gold pink. It's just stunning. I can't get enough of it. And then it has this beautiful color here, which could be a blush, or even for me, I could actually use this as a contour shade. So I definitely think this would be a great travel palette or a great blush palette just to add to your collection, all right? So that is the two blush palettes. I thought it was important to start with those just because I don't even know if people know that Juvia's Place has blush palettes. I didn't know until I went actually on their website, and as much as I love blush, I had to pick those up. So I think those are beautiful. And then I'm gonna do these two palettes. So this is the Nubian and then the Nubian 2. Let's show you the Nubian, this one right here. These are kind of more of that neutral tones, warm tones. This is a beautiful palette. I definitely think if you're looking for an everyday palette from them, you guys will love this. For me, being as many eyeshadow palettes as I have, this palette kind of doesn't make sense in my collection unless I just want another nice neutral toned palette to use for the option of having more pigment. The pigment is fabulous in this palette, however, it is a pretty standard warm neutral palette, but that may be what you guys are into and that may be what you're after. So if that is what you're after, the original Nubian would be a good palette for you. Now let's move on to Nubian 2. So there are a couple different sizes of palettes. I think they have the minis and then the full-size palettes. So this is a full-size palette as where, let's just show you for reference as far as size goes. This is a mini palette. So let's see if I can hold them both up here for you. They're big palettes. All right, so there's the mini palette here and then the large pan palette. I think it's really preference as far as like what size of a palette you want. I actually kind of like the mini palettes just because they're gonna store a little bit better for me. But it's only, I want to say they're like $5 more for the bigger pans, so it might be more cost effective to go with the bigger pans. I'm sure someone has a video on how you depot these. I am not going to depot them for several reasons. Number one, I love all the artwork on all their packaging. I think it's just so beautiful. Why would you want to take them out? And two, I just like to keep everything in their original packaging. I'm not a huge Z palette type of person, so I like original packaging. But back to this palette. This is the Nubian 2. I do think this is beautiful. There are a few shades in here that really catch my attention. This beautiful green, this beautiful gold, and then this like chocolatey brown down here. But the rest of them for me, for whatever reason, this isn't catching my attention as much as I hoped it would. So that's just my thoughts on that particular palette. I know other people will disagree with me, and maybe when I actually use this palette, I will feel different. This is the one palette I did not use, so I'm sure I may feel differently about it once I get it on my eyes. Continuing on with palettes, let's do this particular palette, which is called the Masquerade Mini. Right here for you. As you can tell, this is the color I have on my eyes today. They can get a little bit messy if you dig in there. I was using a liner brush, so got a little messy and I didn't clean it up. But as you can see, these has a beautiful array of colors. I feel like something like this is more useful to me than just that neutral shade, the Nubian palette, because it has some of those shades, but it also has some brights and pops of color to make it stand out and be more universal for me and my liking. So that is the Masquerade mini palette. I really like this palette. This is one I highly would recommend on getting. I'll go over my favorites as soon as I'm done here as well. This is the Saharian palette. I believe this is their newer palette. This one's beautiful too. It's definitely focused more on those oranges and cranberry colors and some jewel tones. Absolutely stunning palette. Again, I don't know if there's enough in this palette for me to want to purchase this. Again, I love it because I have it. I don't know if it's a must-have palette. I think there's enough other colors in the other palettes to kind of fulfill this particular palette. All right, and then moving on, we're almost through all the palettes, guys. I know there's a lot of them, and ignore it if they're messy. That means they're just getting love for me. So there's this palette right here, which is called the Magic palette. This palette is absolutely breathtakingly stunning. I know for a person who doesn't maybe do a lot of eyeshadow, this may seem like a lot of color and kind of not very cohesive to you perhaps, but for me as a makeup artist, these are the types of palettes I want. I have enough to do some crease shades I have enough lid colors and pops of color and anything to create some sort of contrast and interest. So this palette, again, is another one of my favorites. Absolutely beautiful. On top of that, I'm just going to turn around here so you guys can see the artwork in these palettes. The artwork is just stunning. I love everything about their packaging as far as just how it looks. It's beautiful. It's got these beautiful women on it. I just like how it's represented. The only thing I kind of wish is maybe these weren't cardboard, or you would have an easier option if you did want to depot them to kind of make them more cohesive for you. If this is distracting to you, the layout, for me, I like the layout, but everybody's going to be different. And then last but certainly not least is going to be this palette here, which I'm going to say it wrong. I believe it's called Zulu palette. Right here. This by far has gotten the most love for me. I love that you have transitional colors here, and then you've got all your pops of color, or you can do kind of a rainbow mix of colors. This is absolutely stunning. Hands down my favorite palette out of the entire group. For several reasons, the packaging on this is definitely my favorite. I love the artwork. I love that it's a metallic reflective packaging. And then I also love the fact that this is metallic white inside. I don't really like the orange packaging and the yellow packaging inside here for whatever reason. It just looks kind of funky to me. This is gonna get dirty, I do realize that, but I just think it's a beautiful looking palette, and I definitely use this palette a lot more than you think I would, so I'm so glad I picked it up. So let's talk about my 3 favorite palettes. I'm just gonna show them again really briefly. The Zulu palette, obviously, which we talked about, the Masquerade palette, and the Magic palette, and of course Blush Volume 2 for me. Okay, Blush Volume 2 I think will work for all skin tones, so this would definitely be the one to purchase. Blush Volume 1 is definitely for deeper, darker skin tones, so probably not for everyone unless you plan on using it as eyeshadow as well. I do think that these 3 palettes are the way to go when purchasing this brand. This is what I'd recommend, purchasing these 3 over any of the other ones, because I feel like you're getting a little mix of all of those palettes in these 3 palettes, and that's what I would purchase. I am going to do a couple like live swatches, because why not? We'll start with this palette here. Gonna go into that lime green. You guys see the pigmentation on this? It's absolutely stunning. We'll do the teal right next to it, just so you can see the difference in color. I mean, these are stunning, stunning shades. And then we will do this beautiful kind of pink gold shift next to that. Just absolutely stunning shades, guys. It doesn't get much better than that. Let's do a matte shade too. Why not? Let's do the yellow. Yellow is a very tough color to do, so I just want to keep that in mind. But I mean, this is a pretty potent yellow. Definitely, definitely pigmented. Obviously, I have this color on my eyes right here, so we're gonna do that. It's this beautiful brown, like bronzed shade. And then I'm gonna do this kind of burnt orange next to it. I just want you to see the different textures and colors. And then I will do, let's do this really pretty like purple shade. You guys see how pigmented those are? I mean, this is insane pigment. I mean, some of the best pigment I've ever seen from palettes. And I have a lot of palettes, so for me to say that, that's something. All right, we'll do one more set of swatches before my hand gets totally trashed and you can't see the colors. We'll do the Magic palette, all right? Now I'm gonna do this beautiful like lavender purple, because I think everyone would be interested in what that shade looks like. I'm gonna do this beautiful green. And then, let's see, let's do a beautiful brown shade, why not? A warm brown that I use a lot. I mean, every single color when swatched is pure pigment. There is no duds in these palettes. it's kind of mind-blowing to me. I kind of expected like, oh, if the shimmer shades are great, the mattes are usually not good, or if the mattes are really great, then usually the shimmer shades aren't good. But every shade I've used is amazing. I can't say enough good things about Juvia's Place. I know Juvia's Place is going to be sold on Ulta.com now as well. I actually purchased my palettes from Juvia's Place. I like to do that. I like to actually support the brand on their particular website. I did purchase all of those from specifically Juvia's Place. I know in the past there has been some issues with people getting their packages or things coming broken. I mean, these were packed so nicely, guys. I'm gonna grab the box, just one box so you guys can kind of see. So it comes in their little unicarton, but each unicarton has bubble wrap inside the box, and then the palette is inside here. So if you're getting broken stuff, they're just not being careful with it, or your box got dropped really hard or something. But everything that came to me was absolutely perfect and pristine and really fast shipping. I wasn't expecting that. So far I've been really impressed with this brand and all of the products. I definitely will continue to order from Juvia's Place. I think you guys should order from Juvia's Place. If any of these palettes caught your eye, definitely order one and check it out. Maybe start with one and then build your collection, because I do feel like some of them have repeating colors, so you may not want them all. But like I said, my 3 favorites one more time is the Zulu, the Magic palette, and the Masquerade palette. I think if you got those 3 and then the Blush Volume 2 palette, you will have everything you need from Juvia's Place. I'm happy I have them all just so I can enjoy them all. I will use them all, but I don't think you need to purchase every single palette from them. But overall, I'm super impressed with just the customer service and their website and getting the products to me in a fast, timely manner with nothing broken. It's very difficult to order this much makeup and not have one of them come broken, especially because, you know, you never know what the postal service is doing, and you never know what happens once it leaves their distributing center. I'm super impressed. If you're not comfortable with ordering from their website, you can order off Ulta.com, so that is another option. And then if you get it at Ulta.com and say you get it home and you don't like it, you can always return and exchange. But I haven't been this excited about an eyeshadow palette in a really long time, and I hope you guys definitely check out Juvia's Place. And on that note, you guys, I want to thank you so much for always watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. I did do a giveaway for everyone on my Instagram, and we had a beautiful winner. I will be giving her all of her items very soon. I'm thinking about doing another one for maybe closest to Christmas. Let me know if you guys want to have me do another giveaway, or if you guys are interested in another giveaway. Let me know. Give me ideas. Definitely like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I post videos every Tuesday. When you hit the bell, it will let you know that I have posted something. Also too, in my description box in all my videos will be my website. You can hire me as a makeup artist, and my Instagram. So all of my contests that I will always do will always go through Instagram, or if you guys just want to see daily posts, that's where you guys can check those out. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.